Okay. Good evening, everyone. This is Julie White, and I just want to welcome you to our Monday evening team Zoom. And it's just great to see all of you on here tonight and get to see your faces because some of you I haven't had the privilege of meeting yet, but look forward to doing that in the future. And I'm very excited tonight. I have a special guest to introduce to you. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and mute the line. So hold on one second, please. And Rhino, you'll have to unmute your line.
Okay.
Okay, now we're all muted.
Good.
Okay, great. So I want to introduce to you a very special friend of mine. He's been on our team for a number of years, and his name is Gary Tucker, but he's better known as Rhino. He's a Pro 5 in LifeVantage. He's a great leader, and he just has been such a support to me over the years. He lives in a little town called Westfield. He and Kurt Heisey both live there. He's actually the one that enrolled Kurt Heisey, who many of you know. And so Gary lives about 45 minutes from where I do, and so we do a lot of meetings and things together in our area here. And so that's been great. And Gary has been a real student in network marketing. He's really applied himself to learn the skills of network marketing. And that's what he's going to share tonight. And he's also a husband of a beautiful wife, Betty. And he has a couple of great kids. And he's done a lot of interesting things over the years. But he's going to share his story tonight. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. So we can see some information here. Okay, hopefully you can all see this. Let me just make one more click if I can. Let's see here.
Hey, well, there I am on the screen.
There you are, Rhino.
Well,
Okay.
hello. Well, hey, it's a great opportunity, Julie, to have a chance to just talk before the team. Usually we have special guests, but every once in a while, one of the team members sticks his neck out and has a chance to share some of his story and some of his experiences. The picture you have right there is it's a booth that Kurt Heisey and I use from time to time when we go to vendor shows, but in that particular case, that vendor, that show there was at the Tioga County Fair in northern Pennsylvania. It's a big fair where many people come by, and Kurt has more than one business, but we also made a big point there to have a LifeVantage booth, and basically we talked to people about nutrigenomics and biohacking as a way to perk their interest and to get information from them. We don't do too many of these type of things, but that's why my picture's there. What's below that picture, Julie?
What did you say, Rhino?
Okay, but what's our next slide? And let's go to that.
Okay, did you want to share a little bit of your story?
Okay, well, I could do that. And Julie already kind of filled you in a little bit. I've been with LifeVantage for approximately 7 years. I have enjoyed that experience, not just because it offered me a chance for financial abundance and time freedom, but it also gave me a chance to, what I say, get back out into the business world. When I first learned about LifeVantage, I was 65 years old, and now I'm 72, but when I was 65, I had a lot of health issues that were starting to happen to me. My knees might be sore, my ankles sore, my shoulders just a little bit sore. And by learning about LifeVantage, the products that we have, it eliminated those problems so that now at the age of 72, I'm a legend in my own mind when it comes to my health. I play very strong tennis again. I rollerblade. I have a lot of fun. And to tell you the truth, when you're 72, you realize that life is only so long. So you like to enjoy things. So I do take time off to play my tennis and to do different things. But I am always thinking about LifeVantage. So over the years, I have been able to achieve the rank of Pro 5. Sometimes my volume is more than that because of Kurt. But I sincerely enjoy this business, and I believe Julie, that this business is the best plan B that anybody could have. So I do, like Julie said, I attend the meetings, I help with our different teams, and what I would like to share tonight is just some information that I have picked up and some concepts that I have learned during these 7 years. And Julie's not exaggerating. I have spent a lot of time doing, reading and understanding the network marketing. I have books. This is one of my books of notes that I actually have taken from some of the different calls from some of the network marketers, and I use them from time to time to try to sharpen up my game. So and some of the people that I listen to all the time, and the reason that this slide is up there is because whenever you want to learn from the best, from the very best network marketing professionals, we have many excellent people on our within LifeVantage, but there are also some generic professional network marketing people, and those names on there like Eric Worre. You've all heard of Eric. You can actually, we should have up there network marketing experts. I don't know if you can change that while you sit there, Julie, but we have network experts, but it really should have said network marketing experts. And the reason that I have those names is because I have at some point or another been on some of their YouTubes or some of their emails, and I read the information that they have presented about network marketing. And the reason that it's important to stay in touch with some of these people is because network marketing has evolved over the years. It has, with the advent of social media and emails and Zooms, everything has shifted so that if you don't listen to the experts, you will lose track of the most efficient ways to do your business. And just one of the examples is Eric Worre, just a year or two ago, told all of us, hey, you guys, you're not going to be able to actually pick up the phone and talk to people very well anymore. You're going to have to use text. So you learn about all these different changes. Now, Ray Higdon, he's a very, one of the most astute. Darren Hardy, he has amazing videos and information. Big Al Schreider, he's good in concepts. He's good in teaching people how to use phrases like, hey, I just found out, things like that. Now, so anyhow, the point here is go to, whenever you are interested and you just want to learn more information, you can do all of these type of things. Now, one of the things I like to do these days is go to YouTube and just type in LifeVantage. And LifeVantage has many different aspects. You move the video on me, Cheetah. Yeah. So the very last one where it said, type in LifeVantage and any subject. You can do business presentations. You can get those videos or comp plans and how to invite. We'll be talking about the invite just a little bit later. But all of these are tools that I have used to see. I live at the end of a dirt road here in Potter County, Pennsylvania. So there's not a whole lot of things going on. So if it weren't for YouTube, I would not be able to keep up with all of this stuff. So you can go to the next slide now, Julie. Now, why I do this business, I initially had a bunch of words and paragraphs here, but I'm going to have you just click past that one, Julie, because we're going to get into this. Okay, now, what I'm going to try to get at here is I have been doing network marketing for 7 years, and you get to meet a lot of people. At my age, you get a chance to get out into the business community. You don't become invisible. When you get older, you went, wow, maybe people forget about me or they won't want to talk with me. But this is an amazing business where you can stay in touch with everyone, and you can work with young people or older people. Now, here are some of my biggest takeaways, and I think it's a kind of a lost secret as far as why maybe sometimes our business doesn't grow as fast as we'd like. So I'm going to put my glasses on here. Why do we do network marketing? This may sound kind of simplistic, but bear with me. Okay, why I do network marketing and why you should be doing network marketing, and this is big, is because it's the only practical way for most of us to actually achieve financial abundance and time freedom. Now, what does that mean? Well, most people, 95% of the people in the workforce today, they have a job or a profession, which is fine. But that job or profession is very rarely ever going to allow them to have time freedom or financial abundance. But there is a way. There's like a plan B, and that way happens to be network marketing or direct sales, because of the big and wonderful power of residual income. In network marketing, you have a chance to help other people understand how important it is for them to have a plan B. Everybody, in my opinion, would like to have financial abundance and time freedom. There are a few people that have that. Maybe 5 or 10% of the people in this country have time freedom and financial abundance, but most do not. And for me, I feel very strongly that it is my obligation to learn some of these skills of network marketing so that I can talk to my friends or families or people that I meet after having a conversation to find out from them just what it is in their life that they are lacking, and then to present to them this amazing business of network marketing. And if a person, let's just say that we want to share our business with with John, one of our friends named John. Julie, am I talking too fast?
No, you're doing great.
Okay, let's just, as an example, you're a business is with LifeVantage, and you have a friend or some neighbors, and let's just use John as an example. You're talking to John, and John, he's and you know John, you know that he's a pretty smart guy. He works real hard. He does a couple jobs, but you also know that he's really not making enough money for him to really do what he'd like to be doing. He's always complaining about all the time he's putting in. Well, this creates the perfect scenario for you, knowing about network marketing, to tell John that, hey, John, I have a business idea. I have something. It's a business side project that we can work on together, where you can literally over time attain financial abundance and time freedom. And the better that we get at being able to present the concept to anyone who is open for network marketing, is to explain to them that unless they learn network marketing and make the shift so that they do this business part-time until that maybe full-time, that they're always going to be stuck where they are now. 10 years could go by and John will still be complaining about his income. He'll still be complaining about how his life is going. So unless he has the opportunity to do a network marketing business, that's, he's pretty much lost. Does that make sense? It's kind of I call that a vision thing. I mean, it's something where you have to set back. I'm always trying to tweak my vision to people. You have to do that, because you may have something which is very important, and the person or the prospect might see it as something that's interesting to him, but unless he sees the fact that, hey, unless I really learn about my plan B, I'm going to be stuck doing what I'm doing now. Maybe I better listen to Gary and see exactly what it is that he has to share with me. Does that make sense to anybody?
Yes, that's very good.
It's a vision or a concept. Whenever I listen to these different network marketing geniuses and pros, they're always within their training, they always have the part where it's that if you can become good at presenting to other people the vision for them to have a better life, for them to be able to have time freedom, to be able to pay their college debts, to be able to work at home, and that you have something that will help them, the better you get at that, you might get to the point where they'll say, hey, Gary, I don't really care what your business is. You've convinced me that there's something that I should take a look at. Go ahead and let's get moving, because I do want to change my life. But if you don't do the good vision, they'll just maybe see what you're talking about, but they won't really understand how important it is. Okay, well, that particular point, I believe, is a point that not too many people really have a clear vision of how to present to people to get them to be, wow, I really should be awake on this. And so I would just encourage everybody to emphasize and write down the term vision, be able to project what the vision is for this other person. And most people call it the plan B. John, do you have a plan B to improve this? No, I don't. Well, let me show you what my vision is. Let me show you what we can do. So, okay, enough said on that. Yay.
Very good.
Now, here's the other thing. I'm sure you're familiar with this one. Anybody that you talk with who may need financial abundance or time freedom, and like I said, most people do, it just may not be the right time for them. They could be involved in some move, they could have some family emergency going on, or there are other things. They may be a shy person. They may be somebody who just, no matter what, they cannot see themselves as being on a team and sharing our business. Now, here is the funny thing there. People, and this is another part of the vision, they all work into the vision, is that you could say that, John, you have been doing network marketing your whole lifetime. You just don't know about it. You've always recommended to people restaurants and movies and theaters and vacations, and you do that with a passion, and people may go, based on your recommendation, they may actually go to these events, but you don't make a dime. So when you do a network marketing business, you have the chance to recommend to people not only restaurants and different things, but you can recommend to them different products that are life-changing, and when they respond to you, you actually earn an income from them. So that's just another part of this vision. When people say, well, I can't do network marketing, we say, hey, you really can, because you've been doing it like forever. But once again, getting back to the prospect, it has to be at high noon. You hear that from all of our leaders, and you hear that from about every network marketing expert. You have to be.
Rhino?
Yeah.
So basically, you're saying that high noon is when a person is open and ready to hear what you have to share?
Exactly, and you can find that out. I mean, there's a way to find that out after you've talked to maybe John about this possibility of a plan B. Somewhere in there, you could just say something along the line of, hey, John, I'm just curious, are you always open to other ways of making additional income outside of your current business if it wouldn't interfere with your life? And then just shut up. Basically, what you're doing is with John is you're finding out if he's open. Hey, John, hey, we've talked about a couple of things already. I'm just curious, before I go any further in this, do you at all times keep your options open for other ways of making extra money outside of what you're doing now if it wouldn't interfere with anything? And that gives him a chance to actually say, well, Gary, thanks for sharing your vision, and thanks for singling me out, but you don't understand right now is not the time. And then you just say, well, great, and you drop it at that point, because he's not lying. If you've done a reasonably good job, he is not lying. This is not the time for him. And actually the coaching there is you just say, well, hey, I can tell this isn't, but if you would like, I could keep you in the loop about what I'm doing, and every 2 or 3 months I'll get back in touch with you. These are other side skills.
Very good. And I really like that, because I know one of the things with network marketing that people don't like is when they're not respected. Like, for example, if somebody it isn't the right time, it's not high noon for them because maybe their father is ill and they're having to spend a lot of time taking care of him, or something, more major is going on in their life. But if we respect where they're at and like you said, and say, that's fine, can we keep you in the loop? Is it okay if I keep you in the loop, every couple of months, and they feel respected, and we can maintain the friendship. And then when they do get to high noon, they very well might join. I know I've had that happen with people.
You're a prime example of that, Julie, because you stay with people for years and years, and every so often, right out of the clear blue, somebody say, hey, Julie, I'm finally ready to hear about that business that you shared with me, because I'm ready now. I want to make some money. I want to help people. Boom, there you go. But here's one more thing about this high noon thing. Uh, it's my opinion, and this is what I believe, is that you can have a prospect that's at high noon or close to high noon, but if you don't do an effective job of showing that person the vision of what's at stake in their life, or you don't have a good way of maybe setting up a meeting or an appointment with them, they're going to say, nope, I'm not interested. But what I'm saying there is that as you get better at this, and as you learn what to say and what to do, and learn to share your vision with people and to bring them into how you can help them, you will find more and more people at high noon, because some people are at high noon. It's just that they didn't really get off on what you were saying. Does that make sense?
Yes, that's great. And we have about 10 or 15 more minutes to go here tonight. So if you can pick out some of your other main points here, because I know you have some good examples and things coming up that I don't want people to miss.
What Julie's saying is, Gary, you embellishing too much. Keep moving. And that's me. But okay, well, the third thing that this is the takeaway. These are big takeaways, and I'm sure you've heard this one before, is that we are the messenger and we're not the message. And the message is in some of these items that we have here. It's in the ABC yellow pill video. It's in YouTube. I have been using YouTube quite a bit lately. When somebody asks for more information, I say, look, John, there's so much information. Rather than me trying to explain to you about our products or about our business presentation, look, go to YouTube and punch in LifeVantage and click on presentation, LifeVantage/presentation, and you'll see a whole assortment of presentations. Or if you want to learn about our products, just go to LifeVantage and click on the product you're interested in. It could be Axio, it could be whatever. So I have learned to effectively use those tools when somebody says, well, what is it? Or could you explain this to me more? I say, listen, I have explained to you network marketing and residual income and the vision. Our company is LifeVantage, but I don't have the time and you don't want to hear me explaining all this. Here, why don't you go to this video, www.abcyellowpill.com. It'll be a site there that you can see our, this amazing video. Will blow you away. And then it will also show you different studies and things like that. And if that's not enough, use YouTube. And also, I also use the tools because I'm close by our local meetings. We have local meetings about every Thursday. So when somebody asks me, hey, Gary, what is this all about? I say, look, why don't you come to me to a meeting in Mansfield? I try to set the appointments up. And then if they say they're coming, but they don't make it, then that gives me an amazing way to say, hey, John, I could tell you were too busy to make the meeting. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come by either Tuesday night or Thursday night, whichever is best, and I'll explain it to you. Usually that. Okay, well, anyhow, we are not the messenger. We're not the message. Everybody wants to tell everybody too much. Now, here's the fourth point is experts. And this is when you're doing invites. This is important because there's a tendency for all of us, and I was included. Now the tendency is probably too much the other way, but initially I would share the business and network marketing with people that I knew and people who may not have been as successful as me because I knew they'd listen to me. Oh, hey, Gary wants to tell me something. Hey, I'll listen. I did not spend the amount of time that I should have on people who were business people who were in the real estate business or in insurance, or people who have their own offices. Those are the type of people, as it turns out, the experts claim, it turns out that a small business owner, even though they are successful, they are probably the most open to looking at a business because they know how important it is for a business. They know when they see it, they will respond to it. They're not worried about saying, hey, I don't have enough money to get in. I don't want to be a salesperson. I'm too busy. All of those objections, which other people like to do, they're not there. All that the business guy wants to see is, hey, you're right, my business is not quite what I thought it would be. I'm not quite making as much money as I thought I would. Give me your best shot. So in other words, the best thing to do when you are making up your list is to concentrate on the good ones you may want to have your sponsor with you until you're better at that, because when you do talk to good people, they want a good presentation. And does that make sense?
Absolutely. Are you ready
Okay.
for the next page?
I'm ready to go to this last one, which is, nope, I am. Yep, let's go to the next page. Okay, now, as I said earlier, the process, no, that's good. The process of network marketing is always changing. Now, what has recently been a coaching from some different network marketing people is to use the phrase of "I do a business." Okay, I mean, when somebody that you're talking with says that, I mean, it's your friend John. You're talking to John again, or maybe not a close friend, but an acquaintance. And this John is saying, well, yeah, hey Gary, I'm doing pretty good. Things are going. John, you going on any vacations, or how are your kids? Well, actually, I don't have enough money to go on this vacation, or I'm trying to find ways to pay for my kids' education, or it might be a working mom who's saying, I wish I could find a way to stay home. That you have found out a little bit about what they need, and a good transition to go from that point is, well, hey, by the way, I do a business which helps people like you, John, who are worried about your retirement income to make extra money, so you don't have to worry about that. So this is one of the points that Julie wanted me to get into, and I'll start at the very beginning, which is how I should have done that in the first place. Effective invites are always should be based on a person's need. Okay, back to the script. And what we mean by that is that if you're going to try to encourage somebody to take, this is even past the vision. Let's just say we never got much into the vision. You don't have a time to do that, and you're talking to somebody and they express a problem. What you have to get them to ask what you do. Okay, there are two things that I'm starting to get a little bit confused here. When you're doing the invite, there are two reasons to be doing this invite. The first reason is to find out beforehand what the problems that they have are, so that you can invite them with a benefit, and at the same time you're inviting them with a hope of setting up an appointment, because we all know that if we don't set up an appointment to meet with them, then we're not going to have a successful of a business. So
those are good points, Gary.
Yep.
Those are good points with the, finding the solution or benefit for them. And then, boy, if you don't get an appointment, it's like you said, you kind of lost everything. So, getting that appointment is so important. And for me, the way I do it is I don't give them the information until the appointment.
Mm-hmm. Good point. Real good point. Like the number one point there is that this is the very important. People, this is the concept, and it's so true. People, even your friend John, he's not going to be really interested in anything that you're saying to him unless he can perceive that you have something that can give him a benefit. Now, when you're talking about your vision, naturally, that's the big thing. You're showing him how they can, have a better life, but it may be something smaller than that. He may just need money to pay for the college education. And if you know that, then you just say, hey, John, by the way, I actually, I do a business that helps people earn extra money so that they can pay off their kids' college loans. If you'd be interested in some information about that, I'd be glad to give it to you. And if he says, well, or maybe come by and see you. I mean, once again, you can offer them information, but then you could say, but better yet, it'd be probably better if we could come by and talk together about it.
Very good. I like that. Are you ready for the next page?
Let me just see what I got here. Yeah, from here on out, basically, it's just going to be a repeat of different examples of how, if you know what a person's problem is, that you can say, hey, this phrase, by the way, it's not in there, but by the way, Big Al, he is very good in concepts, and so is Mark J, another network marketer. They say if you can keep this phrase in your mind, you can just be talking to somebody about anything, and a benefit that person needs, and you can say, hey, John, by the way, I just found out, or I do a business where I can help you maybe pay those bills. This I just found out is kind of a psychological snap that it eliminates from that person any thoughts that they might have, because wow, this is it's psychologically it brings them right into what you're saying. By the way, I just found out. Those two phrases, according to the experts, are $1 million phrases that you can use to get the attention of almost anybody.
Excuse me, Rhino. How do you use the phrase, by the way, I just found out? I just found out what?
Yeah, well, you could just be having a conversation over dinner, and you could say, oh, hey, I just found out how I can make a lot more extra. You're talking, I just found out how you can make a good extra amount of income from home. And then you could just say, hey, John, what's the weather going to be like tomorrow? Theoretically, according to the experts, John is going to say, hey, I don't care about the weather. What is it that you just found out that can, make this extra money? Or John, by the way, I just found out how you can pay for your kids' college without having any debts. Hey, John, hand me the newspaper. And that what that does is that he's going to say, John, tell me more about this business you're talking about where I can pay the kids' education off. And then at that point, he has asked you for a presentation. And you can, then when you start getting further into it, then you are not posing him, you are just answering his question.
Okay,
So,
I get it. I get it now.
So, so it's like if you're at a dinner table yourself, Julie, and somebody across the table says, hey, Julie, I just found out how to make extra money from home. Could you pass me the cranberry sauce? You're going to say, well, wait a minute. What is this way you're talking about? And then,
so it's a way of getting their attention, basically.
Getting their attention, and to get them to ask for a presentation, because they're literally asking, well, tell me more about this business or this activity that you have. And once they have said that, then it opens up the door for you to start communicating back with them because they asked for it.
Right. So it's kind of the opposite of how most of us were in the very beginning of doing this business, where we would be so excited that we would just go out to our friends and regurgitate everything that we learned, about Dr. McCord and about SOD and about, how wonderful our products are and how they're helping this person and that person, and just, kind of spill the beans. So what you're saying is kind of the opposite of that, right, Rhino?
This is a great technique or great substitute for going up to somebody and saying, man, I just found out a great business opportunity. This is something you got to look at. This is going to blow you away. You rather just find out what one or two things are bothering him, and you're just, oh, hey, by the way, I just found out a way how you can actually earn enough money to earn, to retire comfortably. Would you mind, hey, what's the weather going to be tomorrow? Whatever you want to, you're supposed to, cut it off right there, because they will ask you what it is you're talking about. And if they don't, you haven't lost anything. If you say, hey, John, by the way, I found a great way for you to earn some extra money so you don't have to worry about that retirement you're complaining about all the time. Hey, what do you think the weather's going to be tomorrow? If he just does not respond back to, hey, wait a second, tell me what it is you have, then you just keep on going.
He's probably not at high noon, if that's the case.
He's not at high noon. He isn't. No. But
right.
but those are things and phrases and things that if you have them internalized, you'll be able to talk to more people, because the number one thing that stops me from inviting different people to look at this business is I just don't know what to say. I don't know how to transition from this guy saying, man, I wish I had more money, to a nice, cool little thing of, hey, by the way, if you're really interested in that, I do a business that helps people solve the problems that you have if you be interested, I could get you some information. Hey, better yet, why don't we just get together? And then
Very
you could
good.
say, and then that's where you have to come into this other thing. These all kind of run together. That's where you say, but I am just curious. Do you at all times keep your options open for other ways of making additional income outside of your current job?
Very
And
good.
then,
That's a very good invite. And this is the last slide, Rhino.
okay.
If you want to
Now,
cut this, and then we'll do a
yep.
brief question and answer time.
Oh, good. Okay, I forgot about that. Yeah. Now, here's the catch. Once again, you can be sure that a certain number of people are going to say, "Hey, what is it? What exactly are you talking about? What type of business is?" Well, like I said, John, I'd really like to get together with you because this is kind of a visual thing. I mean, I just can't stand here and explain it to you. Uh, uh, well, tell me more. What exactly is it? Then you could just say, "Look, have you ever heard, John, of biohacking?" I'd probably say it the other. John, have you ever heard of nutrigenomics? No, I haven't, Gary. How about biohacking? Nope, I really haven't. Well, how about, have you heard maybe about, the concept of residual income and how you can get paid month after month and year after year for work that you do today? No, I really don't know too much about that. Well, that's why we need to get together so that I can explain this stuff to you. I can't do it right here. So, I mean,
Very good. That's some really good answers there for that age-old question. What is it? So I
that,
hope
that
people are taking notes on that. Go
That's
ahead,
the
Ryan.
other reason. That's the other reason that I have in my career, not only knowing what to say and how to say it to the invite, but knowing that they're going to, yep, I know they're going to say, "Well, Gary, what is it?" And then I would always stumble and stall around on that one. But there are other. That's where it's past what I want to get into. That's where you can go to YouTube and look at all the wonderful training on how to respond to any objection.
You know,
And one more,
go ahead.
I just want to say one more thing. I've
Sure.
also learned this other skill, which isn't even on here, that if a person does raise the objection, I don't have time to do that, or whatever it is, this is really, I mean, you've heard this before too, but you say, John, you don't have enough time to do this. I was the same way you were. I thought, man, there's no way do I have any time to do this thing. But hey, I did just look into it to see what the heck it was. And you know what I found out? I found out, man, I can work this into the nooks and crannies of my life and and also make a good income doing it. So, man, it wasn't what I thought. Whatever they say, they say, "Oh, I'm not a sales guy." Man, I'm a sales guy. I hate sales guys. I'm not a sales guy either, but I looked into this, and here's what I found. You're not selling anything. You're just sharing stuff. So, anyhow, uh,
Yeah.
that's the
Excellent.
last.
Excellent, Rhino. You are a wealth of information. I've gotten some good comments here just about the wealth of information that you have. And I love all the resources that you gave us at the beginning. So basically, we don't have an excuse. We have so many resources, and we, we owe it to ourselves and to, being successful in our business to delve into learning the network marketing skills, because this is a network marketing business that we're involved in. And these experts, they definitely have learned over the years the best ways to go about this. So anything that you might have a question on, I'm going to flip back to that page where, in case you didn't get some of these names written down, but these are some really good experts that you can look up on YouTube, and you can type in about the invite, and you can even do that on LifeVantage, like Gary said. Type in LifeVantage the invite, LifeVantage the follow-up, LifeVantage the close, LifeVantage how to do a meeting. All that information, you're going to find there on YouTube, and I've started my own YouTube channel, so I've been putting these recordings on a YouTube channel. So if you look up my channel and subscribe to it, you can see some good information on there too. But let's take I know we're going late, but Rhino's a very special guy, and he has a lot of information that's of value for us. And so I want to take a little time in case anybody has a question for Rhino. Anybody have a question, you can either unmute yourself and ask it, or feel free to type it in the chat box. I'm going to see if I can, there, Okay. Rhino, are you seeing me now instead of the?
Yeah, uh-huh. I had no idea that it was 8:42, by the way. I'm sorry. I went live.
Oh, that's,
I wasn't watching the clock.
that's okay. You did a great job. Anybody have a question tonight? Question or comment for Rhino?
I did a good job.
Well, Dave here, and I put there in the chat box, Rhino, that I especially liked your answers to that age-old question. Well, what is this?
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of, and unless you know what to say, you're not going to pursue a lot of these interviews.
Well, you're right. Right there, you know, I lost a couple because I didn't have those clever answers that you have.
Yeah. Yeah. And the answers are, you know, they're important. And one more thing I just wanted to say, going back to the vision, sometimes the experts are always saying that you have to ask that person right at the beginning of you're just having a general conversation with your neighbor, your friend about life and things like that, and they're complaining about this or that. You could say, hey, what's your plan B? What is your plan B to get those things? And they're going to say, I don't have any plan B. Well, you know, I have I know of a plan B that can get all those things. You know, well, you know, you get the picture. There's so many things that you learn and so many phrases that if you get them all in your head, you feel really good about talking to people.
Very good. So it pays to be, you know, learn these skills. One of the things that I wanted to encourage everyone to check out that I think is really helpful is Sherry Hollenbach. She's a LifeVantage Pro 9. That's Sherry, S-H-E-R-I, and the last name is Hollenbach, H-O-L-L-E-N-B-A-C-K. And she has a really good invite one, and it's just so simple. You know, if you're setting up your appointment, you can just say, you know, I'm excited. I have an idea I want to run by you. Are you going to be home today at 2 o'clock? And just go to their house and share the information. And you can, you know, if you're brand new and you can take your your mentor or upline support with you, or you can go and do, you know, have them watch abcyellowpill.com and get them on a 3-way or a Zoom with your upline. So there's so many options with this, and you just have to find what you're comfortable with and, you know, go with it. I see Ken here is saying he appreciates the great ideas and your experience and vision. So we've gotten some good feedback here. We appreciate that. Anybody else have a question or comment before we close tonight?
Hey, Julia, I see Dan Hunt has a question there. He wants to know what you bring with you when you go for an appointment. When you're trying to set up an appointment, you know, usually, I carry I usually don't have any information except maybe a handout which talks about the ABC prime time or I'm kind of stumbling around on that because it varies all over the lot. If I'm going into a business office, I cold call businesses sometimes, and I know that I'm only going to get one opportunity with some of those to leave something with them because they're going to, no matter how good you are at it, they may not be at high noon, but they'll say, yeah, I'll if you have some information, I'll take a look at it. I may just have a brief explanation of me. My name is Gary Tucker. I work out of Mansfield, Pennsylvania. I'm with, you know, LifeVantage, a $200 million company. We're looking for people to, you know, share our technology and our products in the area. Anyhow, to answer your question, then usually when I'm out and about, I don't really carry anything with me because it looks kind of salesy. You know, oh, here comes this guy with a file. He wants to do something to me. So I don't. I don't.
But what about when we have an appointment set up? Say he has an appointment set up with one of his friends. You know, his friend agreed to take a look at it, and he's going to his house. What would he take along?
Okay, I'm not really prepared to get into that right at this point. I mean,
that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I can say a couple of things. I can say, you know, what I usually do is I'll have the abcyellowpill.com or whatever video I'm going to show. I'll have it downloaded on my computer, so I don't need the internet to show it to them. And I might use my PowerPoint, which if anybody wants a copy of my PowerPoint, and I know Dave Canals has an excellent PowerPoint that he doesn't mind sharing, we can email those to you, and you're welcome to go through a PowerPoint. And I always like to have the income disclosure statement to show people what the average incomes are. And there's also another Facebook group that I'd like you guys all to know about. It's called Building Depth, DEPTH. And Marcel Niederhauser, he's a Pro 10 in LifeVantage. And he has trainings, special trainings, but he has that special Facebook group, and they have special calls. And they are really making it simple, and in the duplication process, it's going really well. So I would encourage you to check out that. And what they have available is a tear-off sheet, which is another way you can do a presentation. If you don't really like a PowerPoint, you can just use this tear-off sheet, take it with you, and go over the main points on that. So I hope you found that helpful, Dan. And with that, unless somebody else has does anybody else have one quick question or comment before we close off tonight? Okay. Well, I just want to tell everybody thank you so much for joining us tonight. And I just want to say, Rhino, you did an amazing job tonight. We just so appreciate what you shared with us, a lot of wisdom. And I see here that people want copies. Okay, I'm thinking maybe copies of the PowerPoints. So if you can just send me a text message or a message on Facebook Messenger, I'd be glad to get you the PowerPoints if you give me your email address. And also, if anybody wants a copy of the slides that we covered tonight, we can also send you a copy of those slides, because there's a lot of good information on there too. So Rhino, again, thank you. It's been an honor and privilege to have you share tonight. And thank you everyone for joining us. And don't forget, at 9 o'clock tonight, there is a Zoom that would be great to watch, and especially to get guests on these Zooms that are Monday and Tuesday nights. They're amazing. And they're really good for follow-up and exposure to our prospects. So thanks, everyone. Blessings to all of you. Bye for now.
Good night, Julie.
Good night.